Too fast, too fast, too fast. Slow down. Really? Put on the cleat, Jeff. What an idiot. Yeah, this whole hoisting thing. Sarah and I were going to take it and put it on our backs and do it that way, but they had this little lifting machine, so we'll go with it.
Ooh, look at that 1976 41-foot Morgan Out Island.
It's got nearly a 14-foot beam.
Holy shit, Bigfoot!
2 staterooms.
Hey, keep it in the circus!
A show draft full keel.
Behemoth?
32,000 displacement pounds.
That's a huge bit!
Most people understand the gratifying nature of pressure washing and watching everything come clean. But today Marty got that job. We're out of the water! Here's our new home for the next couple weeks. This here is our stuffing box. You can feel on the inside there's a smooth edge, and then on the other side it's a sharp edge. And here's our prop shaft. We just got that removed, and this is where that sharp edge ground down on the shaft, so we'll have to get a new shaft and a new stuffing box. Here we're looking at the existing cutlass bearing. We were able to remove the rubber portion of it, but we're determining whether there's a set screw holding in the metal portion or if we're going to have to cut that out. And you can see we just tore that apart in there and pulled it out. Right now we're just measuring the tube to see what size cutlass bearing we'll have to buy to replace it. And here she is, a nice new brass cutlass bearing. Right now I'm prepping the hull. I'm putting tape on the water line to protect the top side from the orbital sander, and I'm just taking the first layer of bottom paint off, and what this will do is expose any blisters in the fiberglass. We used an 80 grit sandpaper for that. And here it is all done. Most people wear coveralls for this kind of job, but I personally like to get dirty.
After Sarah got done sanding, we realized that we did have a few blisters, so I popped a few of them just to see how much water was inside of them, and there was. It's caused from the osmosis, where the water gets inside there, can't get out, and makes this sappy, sticky, vinegar smelling stuff. There's a few, some of them were pretty deep. We're taking care of them right now. Here's how osmosis happens. You have your outer layer, which is where your bottom paint or anti-fouling is, your gel coat layer, your resins and hardening layer, and your fiberglass layer. Now, what what happens is water starts penetrating through the bottom paint, through the gel coat, and it can't really make it through the fiberglass that well, and it just starts building up, and as the boat sets in the water, this water starts collecting inside there, and it mixes with the resin that's already in there and starts a chemical reaction. And as that chemical reaction happens, the water droplets mix with the resin and become too large molecule to exit outside of the, or penetrate back outside the gel coat, making it build up and build up and build up. As the build up, it can't force its way out through the fiberglass, is much stronger, and then the gel coat starts to bow out and you get these blisters. And the pressure starts to build, the water and the resin mixes and causes the blisters. Well, fun fact, while I was doing some research on how I wanted to treat the blisters on the boat, I found out that mid-70s, late 70s fiberglass boats were more susceptible to blistering because of the poor resin quality. I've wondered why that was and dug a little deeper and read a few things, and come to find out most of it was due in part of the 1973 oil crisis, where Arab countries got together and put an embargo on several countries because they said that they were supporting Israel during the Yom Kippur War. The United States being one of the main ones, Canada, Japan, the United Kingdom, Rhodesia, and when they put the embargo and oil prices literally went up 300%, within a year or so. And because of that, it was harder to get the oil products to make the resin to make the fiberglass boats, so the resin quality was really poor. So a war that happened, way away from here caused my blisters that I'm dealing with in 2021. I thought that was kind of interesting. Thanks. Here we're just repairing a couple of the through holes with a little 5200. It's a permanent marine grade adhesive.
And finally, we're back in the engine room. We've basically figured out all of the systems. We've replaced valves and taken bits and pieces out to clean or replace. And it's starting to get organized in here. We've organized the wiring and also started rewiring. And I've been scraping the bilge, getting that prepped for paint. We'll be painting this weekend. There's where the shaft came out for the prop. There goes the shitter. Have you ever heard that fish can only grow based on the size of the fish tank that they're confined to? I'm Sarah and this is Jeff. We gave up a modest house with a small saltwater pool for a much larger salty terrain with an infinite amount of personal growth in mind. As poet Linda Ellis says, it's up to us to take responsibility for what we can pack into the dash on our tombstones between our birth date and dying day. Watch us prepare for the worst, but hope and live for the best while we can. Thanks for watching this episode of Where We Are At. Subscribe to follow us where we go on our refit sailing vessel, the Dash, at Aquaterra Gypsy Odyssey, aka @Go.